Oh, cool. There's an overworld. I didn't know that. Well, let's go kill everyone in the village. Weird that attack is not the... Okay. Ferals. Halt! No weapons. We have enough to worry about lately without everyone swinging swords around. Oh! Ha! Ha! That's no weapon. Just a shovel. You may enter. Then, and don't forget, press W to talk to everyone. I'll talk to you again. Cause no trouble, warrior. Lady Knight. Hey, I remember you. Where's the Red Knight used to hang out with? She's dead. Now how do you feel? She's... What if she was all gossipy, like, where's that skank you always used to hang out with? Or like, oh, hey there. Let's go talk to this skank. Molly, oh, you've got a pretty face. You should come visit more often. I can't capitalize on the fact that she thinks I'm sexy, despite the fact that I'm probably like half the height of her. So this is where we probably buy magic from the magicist, who's racist against magicians. Want more use out of your relics? Of course. I can increase your maximum magic good, but no relics? What can I do? You have to find some relics. Chester, down the ladder. He always does the weirdest things. I wonder what I was doing. This guy is, he makes food. Okay. Maximum health. Bring me a meal ticket. Okay. Let's talk to the goatician. Should I extend my magic or health, or just eat a tin can? Why not buy my meal? I guess a little bit of goat voice be like, why not buy my meal ticket? Help narrow down my options. Fucking, I'm stupid suck. Okay, let's buy the meal ticket. It costs 1,000. I can certainly buy something worth 1,000. Look at that dude. He's really happy, probably because I have a meal ticket. Hand it to me. I'll work on your best recipe. Cool. Let's see what this recipe is. I'm gonna assume that he's gonna hand me a can of PBR. Boop. Oh. Boop. What the hell was that? It looked like burnt shrimp. Well, whatever. That's the best thing that people can eat in the medieval era anyway. Juice made. Ah, new face. Everyone's acolytes. Goach's welcomes comes in here. Ooh, that's Spectre Knight. If someone could defeat him, I would bestow upon them my greatest treasure. Deposed king. Oh, woe is me, the king of nothing. Not to rule, but my love's bar stool. King Knight sits upon Pridemore's throne, that gilded goon. He'll get his soon. Double trouble, soil and shovel, my third eye knows your useless intro. Excavatio, the number of dig piles you've dug is 7. Aurum infantile, the amount of gold you collected is 44434. Danto referatum, number of times you've fallen in battles. What the fuck? No, I haven't. I've only fallen out of adventure. Okay. Whatever. I've only died by falling out of the world, not anything that actually counts, like getting killed by a boss or whatever. Oh, cool. We're gonna go talk to the vampire lady. Mona. Sigh, I suppose peaceful solitude is suited for. Shall we pass the time with a little game? I need 100 gold first. Yeah, sure, I'm already playing a game. Let's play a game inside the game. Conjure up some things, you can hit them towards targets for 5 points. Okay, conjure them up. What the hell? Okay. Oh, this is pretty bizarre. Huh, what a neat little game. Well, that's going away. This is a very, very strange little, like, it kind of reminds me of those, like, I mean, every game's gotta have, like, a weird, like, ranged, like, mini-game type of thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, I assume that when I'm getting out of here, it's like a bigger arrow bag or something. Also, this is not easy to do. Like, at least with those games, usually the aiming is considerably easier to control. This is just kind of, like, just absurd. Okay, I wonder how many points I need to get a good outcome. No, hit that. Okay, that worked out. Not really all that interestingly. Oh, I missed the special one. That did 73. Got 73 points. It's not very good. The ball, you know, I've tried 75 next time. Well, I mean, I tried 75. Fine, whatever. I can do it. I can afford 100 gold. I got 2,000 gold. Maybe that's more impressive than being able to score points in a video game. Like, honestly, I don't see what enjoyment she gets out of watching somebody else play a game. Like, that just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Oh well, whatever. So, try to actually aim a little bit. Can definitely do a pretty good job. So, I played enough I played a lot of like Legend of Zelda games and stuff like that, and I can safely say that by far the hardest shit was all the mini games. They make those things challenging. They're like little tests, more so than like anything else. Like they especially when you have to use a controller to do it. Like any sort of accurate shooting, for whatever reason, I just cannot do on controllers very well. So like whenever I had to play third-person shooters, first-person shooters, anything like that, if it's on a controller, I can't aim with with like an analog stick, I guess. Okay, so I get money. All right, that worked out well enough. So I impressed her. I doubled my cash, and that was, you know, I was great. I earned a shovel that allows me to aim shovelly things faster. I'm not gonna talk to the little chitlin, I'm gonna talk to the hedge farmer. I thought it'd be hedge knight, but oh well. Prove by digging up this dirt pile. Can do. I failed. I did it! Hooray! Incredible, you really are Shovel Knight. Oh, okay, well that was... I thought I'd get like a little surprise. Oh well. Water carrier! Wow, these buckets are heavy. Okay. You should empty the water onto the ground first. That'll probably make it a little lot easier to carry the buckets themselves. Maybe the controller does suck. Bird 6 counting. 6 at not falling in the holes too. You know, guys, I may suck at a lot of things. Anyway, aiming with the controller does suck. That's why all the console shooters and stuff usually have aiming assist. Many trials await you. Don't despair. Strengthen your resolve. Okay, I want to get up to collect the scroll of soundtrack. But how do I do it? Is the question. Can't bounce off of people and kill them. Can I go on this thing? Nope, those are most assuredly all in the background. Oh look, there goes BoJack Horseman. Okay, well, that's fine. So that was the village. Everyone get a good appreciation for what the village is all about. Lair of Spectre Knight, and we have to go kill these people and eat their souls to get their special powers. Let's go on to Pridemore Keep and kick this knight's ass, and then I'll become the king. Then I'll be a hell of a lot happier. Oh, I know this level. I've seen other people play it. This is the level of amazing colors, like color theory applied. Like, I mean, look at this. You got purple in the background, and then you got yellow in the foreground. By my estimation, those are complementary colors. And like, just look at how like clear and clean it is. It's like it feels like just really funky and alive, you know. So it's a great little feel to it. And then green also usually goes really well with yellow. So and there's also blue too, huh? So yeah, they just really made this, like, this color scheme is just absolutely wonderful on this level. Actually, you know, to be totally honest, even though I am in a weird mood, I'm going to be a little bit serious when I can. So I think that visually this game is actually quite stunning. Like, good pixel art is so hard to do, and they are doing it in spades so far. Like, this is just... The thing is, they're also working at like a pretty low-res resolution here. But they're not falling into like the usual trap where somebody like makes something out of like 5 pixels, and then like, hey, cool, you know, this is just like a low pixel count or whatever. And it's like, no, you just suck at pixel art, so you just like did the bare minimum you could to get something that kind of vaguely looks like something. No, this is straight up like beautiful artwork now. And in fact, I read a little bit that the music was inspired so much by, like, I mean, the whole game is clearly inspired by the NES, but like the music was done specifically with the end goal in mind of like, can this be played on the NES's hardware? And the answer is no, but they came really close if I remember, or maybe they actually could get to play on the hardware. I don't really know, but they did a really good job, and that's where I found out that like on the NES 12-bit. Anyway, so on the NES they like, you know, those were all cartridges, so what you could do oftentimes was... Okay, so he's gonna... That worked out pretty well. Is there any reason for me to kill this person aside from pride? I mean, I have a lot of that, so it's definitely worth my time to, if that is indeed the only reason. I'm gonna try and bait him into doing something. Okay, that worked out pretty well. Okay, cool, so there was points at stake. Points are always worth it. Right, so those were... The NES was all, like, cartridges. And what you could do is you could do things like... Oh, I wanted the money. Well, we're gonna leave the screen and make those people come back to life. Perfect. So what you could do is you could, like, extend the hardware of the NES with like putting a random chip on the cartridge or whatever. So most games didn't really take advantage of this, but some did. And one of the most interesting ones was Castlevania 3, which they only did this with the Japanese version, but they put in like a brand new sound chip or whatever, and they made it sound so amazing. It like added like twice as many channel depth to it and stuff. So it just really, really rocked. And I'm gonna go ahead and just avoid that room because, wait, there's something clearly interesting to the left. This is gonna end poorly for me. That worked out pretty well. What's in here? I mean, I'm standing. What do I do? I wanna do things in here. Well, I'm pressing every button I can. That's fine, that worked out pretty well, all things considered. Oops, that worked out pretty poorly, all things considered. Anyway, so they, if you ever get the chance to, you should listen to, like, the Japanese version of Castlevania 3 versus the American version of Castlevania 3, and it's like, holy crap. Such a huge difference that they made, just by increasing the channel depth a little bit. And I remember reading the blog about that the musician posted, where they were considering, like, do we make it inspired by that because it sounded so good? But then they decided, you know, they were going to go with the familiar. And so they just basically made this whole game to feel more like an NES. Like, the goal was not to be, like, slaving to the idea of making it, like, just straight up like an NES game, but to just, like, take what seemed most interesting and artful to them. And that was an interesting idea. Clearly it worked out well enough for them, because I think this game is extremely well done. So they got that going for them. And it's always really interesting to me, though, when I do hear about people who do, like, ROM hacks and stuff, and they try to get the NES, like, programming down, and they try to, the end goal is to get something that actually would be playable on an NES. People do this still. People, like, still attempt to program video games for the NES. And by and large, it's extremely hard to do. So, like, when we talk about programming, like, in a modern sense, we usually have, like, a programming language that we do anything on. We do everything on top of. So that would be something like Python, or C, or C++ if you're making, like, AAA video games or what have you, or maintaining old C++ applications. That was nasty. Let's kick this guy's ass. That's not quite kicking his ass. This is de facto kicking his ass. Gonna go ahead and count it. Okay. So the NES, if you're going to program for, like, a console, generally speaking, you don't really get the luxury of a programming language based on how old the console is. If it's something like the NES or the SNES or something, maybe even Sega Genesis, like, you basically are just programming in, like, raw machine code. So it's like, you're going to be thinking, like, okay, to get this to appear on the screen, I have to manipulate the memory addresses here and here, and move, like, the sprite into this, like, spot on my RAM or whatever. So you this was totally worth coming up here for. I had a feeling there was going to be a secret. I feel like this is cool. Oh, that was definitely an unexpected drop through. Excellent. There's also a treasure chest. Well, I don't quite know how I fell down here, but whatever. I won't feel too bad about it. So yeah. So when people, I always think it's super impressive when people try to, like, program for the NES straight up. And it's always really interesting to hear people do, like, little post-mortems about this thing, where they go on, like, they write a blog up or something about, like, all the crazy things they had to do. Like, you had to really, really know the architecture inside and out to program an NES game. Even a very simple one is going to just be really, really tough to do. Where they do crazy tricks that you're not really supposed to do just to eke out, like, every little bit of performance. And especially the older, like, the later in the console's lifestyle is, the more crazy the tricks they have to do. In fact, I was reading, this is, you know, not really related to anything like that, because honestly, whenever I read those articles, I never have any idea what they're talking about to begin with. I just read through everything and I'm like, wow, that was impressive. But speaking of wow, that was impressive, I read an article today where somebody managed to fit the entirety of the video game Crash Bandicoot into 2 megabytes, and the tricks that they used were utterly absurd. They would do things like let's say you have an integer and that takes up I don't know how to describe this in easy to access terms. So if you have like a 10-digit binary number and you only use 5 digits for like some various computation that you're doing, then what you can do, and what they would do, is they would just say, okay, the 5 digits that we're not using for this computation, let's go ahead and chuck like a picture, like part of a sprite in there or something, and they would do this like over and over again throughout the entire game to get it to like fit into 2 megabytes. That was super duper impressive that they were able to do that. Then again, generally speaking, I'm amazed that there were even any video games released for the PlayStation, because whenever I hear about what they had to do to get it to work, it's just like, I would think it was impossible except for all the games that were eventually released for the PlayStation. They usually, the thing about the PlayStation was that it was kind of weird, like it had weird hardware problems. So like controller inputs would change like the speed of the way that the memory card was reading things and stuff like that. And eventually people like learned how to use like the weird hardware quirks for doing DRM, which I thought was really, really interesting to read about that, because it's like, if you have an emulator, it would correct for these things, and it would say like, okay, well, we won't have like the memory card be changed by the player input anymore, because that's clearly like a bad thing that you don't want to have happen. But then what would happen instead is that eventually people caught on like, okay, oh no. Eventually, like, game developers caught on like, okay, if we exploit the fact that they're correcting for this and we just like program around it, then people won't be able to pirate our games. And just like crazy stuff like that. It was really quite an interesting console to develop for. You know, I never did it, but it was interesting it's interesting to read about people who actually have done it talk about it. Like the people who made Crash Bandicoot, god damn it. There goes that money. The people who made like Crash Bandicoot have a bunch of times they've usually been a very transparent development team, even at the times they were making Crash Bandicoot and stuff like that. So they posted like all these really, really interesting articles over the last couple of years about like what it was like to make games for the PlayStation, what it was like to make Crash Bandicoot specifically, all the crazy things they had to do just to get the game to work. And really, really fascinating if you want to read about that sort of stuff. The Twitch plays, yeah. So the what's it called? The tool-assisted speedrun of Pokemon Red, where they loaded into RAM an app that plays the Twitch chat. Yeah, that thing is actually really, really cool. The task runs are amazing. So yeah, I like that Okay, this guy again. Should I learn how to fight him, or should I just say screw it? Oh, that's how you fight him. Screw it. I mean, so far so good with this game, right? Like, I've heard it's really, really hard, and it's supposed to be, like, painful to play, but I've not been really having too much of a difficulty so far. Interlopers in our room, be gone from the throne room, knave! I'm no more an intruder than you. You aren't even a real king. Oh, but you're mistaken. The enchantress saw me for my fabulously regal self, and oh no, he has to be like, oh, but you're mistaken. The enchantress saw me for my fabulously regal self, and now all bow before me. You're not but a decadent dandy. Prepare to take justice. Shovl justice. Silence! Oh. God damn it, that guy had the best dialogue. I wanna voice act him just like for forever. This guy has a lot more health than they did on the previous. Yeah, okay, that didn't go so well. So he's gonna do his little dashies, and how did I know he was gonna dash? I just guessed. Anyway. So I guess that's I don't know why I made that sound effect, but it's kind of enhances his like regal flavor that he drops all these Jolly Ranchers from the ceiling. They're also really fucking hard to dodge, so I hope that he doesn't drop any more. I can avoid it. Okay. 4 more hits. Oh, good. I dodged the smash, so that's good. 2 more hits and I win. 1 and 2. All right, first try on that boss too. But I don't know. Anyway, I assume I was saying but something, then I said but something again. So yeah, so that was the second boss down pretty handily. I heard this game was hard. It's bullshit so far. This is just nothing at all. All right. So what's Shovel Knight gonna dream about now? It's just like nothing but boobs and like I don't know. Oh well, there we are. I guess he's not dreaming about boobs. That's a shame. Some 8-bit pixelated boobs is just what I needed to see. Sort of reminds me of, God, Custer's Revenge at that point.